What is good, everybody? What is good is Big Game James, man. I'm back in the building, and you know what it is. It's been about 400,222 days, 750 years before we made this happen. But I'm back with my guy, my dog, Mike White, with Burgers and Blitzes, man. He had a little hiatus, but it's all good. We back doing our thing. How you doing, big dog?
I'm doing well, my friend. How you doing? Nice to
Oh,
see you. Nice to see
Hey, it's
you.
good to see you, man.
Got
It's
that
been a
border
long.
voice going.
Right, right. Everybody's been clamoring to bring it back, but so we finally bringing it back. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be back on a consistent base. So what's up, my dog? The ninja keep on coming in the building. You know how we do. But let's jump right into it, dog. Let's talk about this Cowboys Bears matchup at 1 p.m. Cowboys just came back from Dak Prescott returned against the Lions, had a very efficient day. I said 30-30 club, 30 runs, 30 passes, and you win games, and that's what we want to say. So let's just rehash it since me and you haven't really talked in a while. Tell me how you felt about his performance coming back last week, and then the overall performance of the team before we talk about this matchup against the Bears.
Team scares me. Team scares me because the offensive production is not it's not nowhere near where it should be. Even with as much as it pains me to say, if you go look at the advanced numbers, like this team, no matter if it's Dak or Rush, it's like the 33rd, 34th best third down team in the league, and that's just not sustainable. It's absolutely not sustainable. And you know, they try these garbage ass jet sweeps and stuff. It feels like when they can't get anything going, they just start reaching in their pocket, throwing mud at the wall, and see what sticks. And they panic a little bit, but they still want to keep to their same, run heavy scheme, which is all fine and dandy. But when you're just running into a damn brick wall, you constantly get putting your quarterback behind the sticks on third down, and you can't convert third downs, so you're not going to be able to get anything going. This team has always been, especially Dak is really a rhythm quarterback. I mean, they all are, but there's some of those quarterbacks who can, and they're not, didn't mean they're good or bad. I mean, some of these, like a Mitchell Trubisky can go out there and have a random good drive that didn't in the middle of the third quarter. But if Dak doesn't get going early, it it's just we see it. You might as well just hang on to the third quarter because it's just gonna that's the way it's gonna be the entire first half, and it's extremely nauseating when they don't try to do anything remotely to help him out and help keep the team going. It's
Yeah,
just it's just hey, let's do this halfback dive on first down, and then we'll try an outside toss on second down. Now we'll throw a curl on third down. Oh, what do you know? We're short of the sticks. Let's not go for it on 4th and 1, even though we're on our 45-yard line. It's that type of shit, and it's it's frustrating. And I don't know if it'll ever change. The only thing that'll change is that converting third downs. That's the only thing that's going to keep this going, unless they completely change their mindset. Which how long have we been talking about them changing their mindset? It ain't going to happen. This
mm-hmm,
is what they want. They want to run
mm-hmm.
the ball. They want to spread the ball around. They're not want to force the ball to anybody. It's go to the open man, take what the defense gives you. Even though they say that, but then they turn around and waste every first down with a halfback dive. Well,
Right,
if the defense has got 10 men in the box, at this point it's on Dak. I mean, check out of it. What are they going to do? Bench you?
right,
They ain't got shit else. We've seen
right,
what they got. You
right.
know, it's 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 frustrating, and it's really frustrating when I talk about it on the Bird app, and people, oh, you're just giving Dak excuses. Like, no, I'm telling you what the problem is. I didn't say
Mm-hmm,
anything about Dak. I was talking
mm-hmm,
about the Dolphins. The dude could
mm-hmm,
be better. Ask me. I'll tell you, he could be better. Simple
mm-hmm,
as that.
mm-hmm.
But when you got these other issues that are consistent, even when he's out and he comes back and they're still doing the same shit, I mean, there's a bigger issue at play. He was sketchy in the first quarter. He was
Mm-hmm.
sketchy a little bit about midway through the second quarter. He started picking up, and then the second half is what it is. He ended up with like 11. It was like 11.8 total EPA with like a plus 10 completion percentage over expectation. What else do you want? I mean, first game back, and he played 32 snaps in that first game, which is essentially a half. You know, and he's never until this last game played one snap with this iteration of the roster.
Mm-hmm.
Not one snap. Like you didn't have he didn't play with Tyler Smith. Gallup was out, and yada 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 yada, so on and so forth. That was his first snaps with this iteration of the team,
Mm-hmm.
and now he's going to go out there without Zeke because he's down.
Well, this is going to be interesting to me, Mike, because Zeke is down and everybody's been clamoring. Oh, we need to see more Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard needs to start. Well, here it is. Here's the opportunity to see what everybody's been. A lot of people been screaming about seeing Tony Pollard as the starting back. I'm gonna agree with you. You're talking about Dak Prescott. He needs to. He's a rhythm guy, just like you said. A lot of quarterbacks are, but it seems like, in my opinion, Dak Prescott is a super rhythm guy. Like once
Yeah.
he gets in his rhythm, you can see it. You can see it early with him. If he gets a couple, 2, 3, 4 passes going, man, that offense starts really cooking, and we're taking it down the field.
Being
Um,
able to sustain drives. They convert two third downs in one drive, and here we go.
and then next thing you know, I like the hurry up offense after that. I like us to get to the line quick because then that's when he's in his rhythm and that's when he's best. I like when the offense is picked up. I like it when there's that quick tempo offense. I've seen it. I mean, I want to, I'm kind of want to ask you this in an aspect. It just seems like when Dallas ever always runs that quick offense with Dak and they can get to the line of scrimmage quick and they can they're not playing around with it and they're putting the pressure on that defense. It just seems like this offense just runs like a well-oiled machine. I love to see them when they get in and get out the huddle because then Dak is getting that rhythm. Bam, quick pass, boom, quick over the middle, boom, quick handoff. You know what I'm saying? You see
Yep.
Dak, and then our offense just goes from here to here,
You
and
can see
it's
it in
just
his
like
eyes. You can
you
see it
can
in his
see it.
eyes when everything's clicking,
Yeah, you
and
can see.
you just
Yes, it's like get this man in a
and
rhythm
he'll tell
early,
you that.
Kellen. Yeah,
If you
yeah.
ask him that, he'll tell you that. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's one of those. He won't give you a coach speak. Nobody ask it in the presser. You walk up to him and ask him. Say, hey,
Mm-hmm.
how do you feel? How do you feel about once you can get a drive going? How do you feel after that first drive if you go 3 and out versus converting and at least getting a field goal on that first drive? How do you feel coming back out in that second series? And
Mm-hmm.
he'd tell you 100% different. Just like a lot of every player, quarterback, coach, whatever. You go 3 and out that first drive. Ah,
It's ugly. It's a nasty taste in your mouth. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Even if you only convert like one of the first downs in the first down, you still got a first down and you were able to get in rhythm. That
yeah.
3 and out is just it makes me it's almost like remember when we had talked about we go back to the San Francisco game. That
Uh,
first series, wasn't it? That I'm just saying that first series, right? But we all
yeah,
kind of felt it after that first 3 and out. We're like, okay, it's going to be that type of game. You felt it, you saw it. When you get those 3 and out, so
we know
you
this
got to.
team, man.
We
We know
know
this
this
team.
team.
We
We know
we know
this
what
team.
team's going to show up when we see them on
Yeah,
the freaking sideline.
yeah,
We talked about it when when Warner and Debo Samuel came out of that damn tunnel with the ghetto blaster. We knew it was over.
yeah. We knew. So now we see that Detroit game is behind us. I did a live. I turned it off at halftime. Yes, Dallas won in the end, and the defense did their thing. I know about the defense, but I was just pissing me off because it's like I get it. The lines are improved, okay, but you know what? This should be an ass kicking. This should be
They're
a
the best worst team in the NFL, in my
exactly.
opinion. They
They
play
are.
hard.
They play hard because Dan Campbell. I love him. I
Yeah,
mean, he always has them play hard, but that's only going to last for so long. When you keep continue to lose, you're not going to continue to keep playing hard when you are losing. So my thing was you got to come in and kind of hammer them. And this game right here in particular, the Bears. I know they got one of the top defenses, rushing defense, not passing defenses. They're not giving up a lot of points. They have one of the top rushing offense in the league, but I'm sorry, I'm not scared of Justin Fields. But because he is dangerous because of this game is dangerous. But in my opinion, this should be an ass kicking. In my opinion,
uh,
against the Bears. See, you talk to me why it shouldn't be because this should be in my opinion.
we suck against mobile quarterbacks and always have. Period. That's it. The dude's been inaccurate all year. He makes some terrible throws. We'll probably get a couple picks off of him. But if they can't keep that dude from running, scampering, and picking up third down after third down after third down after third down, and they end up losing the time of possession by 8 minutes, Dallas will lose this game by a field goal.
So, what should be the game plan coming out from the offensive end against this Bear defense, in your opinion?
Offensive game plan. I was hoping Robert Quinn was still going to be there because we was going to run it at his ass about
Right,
35 times.
right.
that's
Maybe
that dude,
they knew it too. Maybe they knew it too, and say, "Hey, let's get him out. This ain't the game."
that's why they
Because
traded him because they
here's
knew
the
Tony
thing.
Pollard was coming.
Right. But here's the thing, though, Mike. You saw when we played Eberflus the last time against Indianapolis what they did. Okay,
That
and
dude
then
knows Dak. He knows his team.
he
I mean,
knows Dak. He knows
he
the
was here for
team.
20. He was here for what, 20 years? He knows
Right.
this team.
He knows the squad. So I think that's going to be this should be a whooping, but that's the only thing that's kind of ringing in my ears because I remember when we had that big win streak, we went down to Indianapolis and Eberflus was over there and that defense went over there and we got taken through the woodshed in that game. So
God,
with Eberflus having the Bears and he knows the Cowboys and he knows Dak. How
to
do you
that
think we
point,
should attack them?
to the point, this is a different team. That Colts team
Okay.
had like four.
Yeah, for sure. For
Ditch
sure.
Witch Ballard had
Yeah,
like three
yeah,
or
for
four
sure.
first round
For
picks on
sure.
on
For
that
sure.
offense. So, but I
Should we
mean,
get a should this be a heavy dose of Tony Pollard today? Because I'm saying 30-30 club. I don't know if you've been seeing my tweets, Mike, but I'm a 30-30 club. Dallas seems to be better when they get around them 30 rushes, 30 passes. That's what it should be. It seems like
to
that's
me,
what it
it's
should.
it's hard to answer because we don't know what works because nothing's been working with this offense. If they
Right.
come out of the gate and the pass is working, keep firing. If they come out of the gate and they're getting 6 yards of carry, keep running the fucking ball until it don't work no more. That's
Right.
my opinion. I mean,
Right.
it's hard to give a concise answer there because we don't know what this team is. We
Exactly.
really don't.
Especially on
We know
offense.
they're a strong offensively. We know they're a good defense and
Mm-hmm.
so on and so forth. But on
Mm-hmm.
the offensive side of the ball, we don't know what they are right now
And we
because
don't know what's gonna happen.
we don't. I mean, we know they're going to try to run the ball,
Mm-hmm.
but will it work?
Right.
Well, if it
And
don't
if it
work,
gets stopped, are they go right?
will they go to the pass?
50
We don't.
passes in a game. You know what I'm saying? Like, is it going to be that? Especially with Tony Pollard and Zeke not there. This is a game, in my opinion, Mike, where I could see Kellen Moore saying, Zeke ain't here. I'm throwing the ball everywhere. This is a game, just
Yep.
me. Tell me any different. But with Zeke not being there, I felt like there's an urge for him to say, okay, well, I got to run because Zeke is in. Now I got Tony Pollard, who's more of like a scat back that everybody tries to throw out, and I can throw him the ball in the passing game. I feel like this is a game where if the run gets stopped early with Tony Pollard, he's going to go spread. He's going to chuck that ball around, and this could be a 50-pass game for Dak Prescott. This is what I feel.
I think they could go wide, like they're about to air it out, and be a design, a design run for Dak and steal you 10 or 12 yards here or there.
Dak ain't running no more, ball,
I know
bro.
that's
You know
crazy.
that. Dak is
I,
not running. He will not run the ball. He is not running. He don't even look like he's comfortable running. He don't
I
want to
don't.
run.
I. I.
I don't believe he
I don't,
wants to run anymore.
I don't disagree, but I don't agree either. I mean, we've seen him. Like I said, this is what he's played now, like 52 snaps this season.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and
It's like he won't when he's had
last year he wasn't.
opportunities to run. He won't do it. I
Last
don't
year he
think
wasn't right.
that's
I
the
mean, we
element
talked.
part of his game that we talked about it, but it's not there no more.
Well, last year he flat out couldn't. And I don't, my memory sucks. So it makes me a terrible liar. So we can rehash that real quick. In case people don't know, that calf strain last year was a lot closer to Kevin Durant territory than anybody was comfortable with, than they'll ever admit in public. He was not right. We saw it, and about December he started taking off a little bit, picking up 3 or 4 yards here and there. But that chunk of that season, he couldn't move. I mean, you watch
Mm-hmm.
the game, he couldn't move. You had Zeke couldn't move and Dak couldn't move, and yet they're still out there. So
Mm-hmm.
um, that was a bad deal. I want to see mainly. I guess it's just a me thing, or I want to see it from my quarterback. Where's that confidence have to take off? Do you still have it?
Right. I
Do you
don't think
still
he
have it?
does. I don't think he
I,
does.
I can't say you're wrong, but I also can't say you're right. You
Right.
know what I
Well, I
mean?
guess we'll see. I just
Yeah,
feel like when there's little lanes for him to run and there's maybe a 2 or 3 yard gain, I feel like there's hesitation to still dump up a quick pass or, I just see where
yeah.
run, get this
Well,
first down right quick so we can keep especially in this, you just talked about it, Mike, on third down. We're not great on third down.
mm-mm.
So if there's an opening and it's a 2 or 3 yard gain, that's where I'll say, hey, get it so we can just
Yeah.
keep them chains
Well, I'm
going
not
because
asking.
we
I'm
need
not
the
asking you to be
momentum.
Lamar Jackson. Get me them
Right,
Justin Herbert
right,
yards. Go get me three
right,
or 4 yards here or there.
right,
Um, another to that point, we're at home.
right.
That makes this an entirely different game.
Mm-hmm.
This team does not play well at Soldier Field.
Right. Yeah,
We've
we've seen
seen
that.
that.
We've seen
we,
that.
we've seen that years and years and years and years. They do not play well at Soldier Field. They're home. The roof's open. It's noon. Everybody got good night's sleep. Everybody just got out of church. Hell, even Kirk Cousins plays good at noon. He gets out of church
Mhm.
that Sunday sermon. Cousins give it to him. So
Mhm.
I think that makes it an entirely different game, and that leads me to kind of lean to the point that they tend to throw it a bit more when they're home. They always have.
Mhm.
Um, Gallup's not ready. I
No,
tried to tell people that. I tried to tell people
we
that.
all tried to tell people that, and
Tried and tried to do.
they forced him out there early, and people were like,
They
that
didn't
first
force
game,
they didn't force him. I
they
mean,
didn't
when I say
force him, but
he's not ready, the dude is obviously not game shape. He had 2 games and his legs died.
right.
There's a
That's not
whole
well, Mike.
no,
That's
yeah,
not. They're not saying they're forcing, but let me ask you
yeah.
this: Okay, let me just ask you this with the Gallup situation. Do you think it was a situation where they were wanting to say we were right on this? We told you we was only going to be out, a few games early in the year, because we saw that first game. He had that game, but it still didn't look good. And then
He can't
after that,
separate. His first
he
three steps
cannot
are off.
separate.
His
He
first three
and you
steps are
you
off.
can
Go
see it.
watch him.
He's laboring. You can see it. I mean, you can see it in Gallup. He's not that threat right now. And I just feel like this was a situation where they wanted to say, "Well, we told you he was ready. We told you he's going to get out there
Oh,
and
for
play,"
sure.
because they wanted to get him out there the week before, and he was like, "No, I'm not." We
Well,
left it up to them. He was like, "No, I ain't ready. I don't want to go out there
that's
right
that's
now."
that's the fun thing with this team, and especially the Jones voice. They're technically correct. I mean, he is ready. I mean, he's
Yeah.
healthy. You know,
Right.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Right. Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
little half
Yeah.
truths in there that they
Mm-hmm.
can. That's kind of like Alex Jones shit. Where like, you know what, 18% of what you said was true. The other 82% of it is absolute hogwash. But
Mm-hmm.
uh, they he is not ready. And I talked about the dude. He when he runs, 80% of his routes are just streaking down the field,
Right.
just streaking down the field or streaking across the field. Coming back with that knee when you ain't been running on it, you ain't been running on that leg, you hadn't been asked to run, probably 6 or 7 miles in an hour and a half, which is what he's doing on this, running all these routes. Your leg's gonna get tired. Just the way hell, if you were 100% healthy and never had the knee surgery, 2 or 3 games, we're getting close to the bye week. This team desperately needs that bye week.
Oh,
They are
yeah, they do.
gassed.
That
They
offense does. That
this
offense
team,
needs
yes.
this offense. Defense, I feel okay with, but I definitely feel like this offense needs a
The
whole
the defense needs it. They're banged up, man. Micah's hurting. Tank's hurting. Diggs has
Tank's
got a thing.
always hurting. I don't want to hear that.
I
Nothing about no damn Tank. Tank
I
always
mean
hurting. So
I
I don't
mean
want to hear nothing about him.
we know how we're well versed on that subject. We all know how I felt about that. I mean,
No,
oh,
yeah, I
the
don't want
dude,
to hear nothing
yeah.
about no Tank. But so here we go. So remember, I was just asking you about the offense. So do you think this is a heavy, like a 12 personnel, Dalton Schultz, Jake Ferguson, Peyton Hendershot? Do we see a lot of the tight ends
I
getting a
think
lot of
so
work today?
because Henny and Ferg's the most consistent thing you got in the passing game
Right
right
now,
now.
you feel
Them,
me?
them, two, them two
Yeah.
dudes. I
I
told I
love
was
them.
posted
I
on Twitter
love them.
the
I'm
other day.
so mad that
This
they gave up 49 and 48, bro. That
that's
that
old that's
that
old
was
that's old
perfect
Gin
for
Rummy.
them,
That's old
bro.
Gin Rummy from the Boondocks.
Yes, man. Bro, they should. I wish they would have kept that 48 and 49 because them is the players, man. I know we got Dalton Schultz out there, but those young, energetic guys, man, are really, in my opinion, I know, like I said, 30-30. Let's make some good runs. Let's try to get to the outside with Tony Pollard.
I
But I
do,
say,
yeah.
but
Don't
let's say
care.
I want
Give
to
it to us.
I want these tight ends to eat too. CD
They
will
will.
probably get a few, but I think these
They
tight ends can really eat this game.
they should run play action. Like I said, I
Play
posted
action
yesterday.
hard
My
today.
my team could do a play action first down, on first down to the seam and leak out a tight end or a halfback on every single first down, and I'd be happy because it would work 80% of the time. There's going to
Right.
be somebody open.
Going to be
Uh,
somebody open.
KMT, we have not talked about the wide receiver market because the
Throw it
wide
out
receiver
there.
market does not exist for this team. They are
There
out
it is. There it is. So nobody from
unless
the white
unless something.
because they got James Washington coming back, right? That's what they're gonna say.
Oh, built like an otter, played 25 games in 4 seasons. James
I'm just
Washington, come
saying,
on now,
hey,
come on now.
that's what they're. I'm not saying me. I'm saying that's what they
Yeah.
banking on, though,
Oh
right?
yeah,
That's why
that's what
they're
they
not
back.
jumping
That's what
out.
they
Yeah,
tried to replace Amari with was freaking James Washington. People bought it, and then people bought Tolbert. Oh, Tolbert's going to be better than rookie Gallup. And y'all better sit
what's up
down.
with Toper?
He
What's
ain't
up with
ready.
Toper?
He
I
ain't
know he
ready.
ain't ready, but why is he not ready? Does he not know any of the route tree? What's going? Does the offense? Can he not pick up the offense? What's going on with him? Do you know?
I mean, you just said all the things.
Okay,
He's a camp champ. Camp champ when go freelance and stuff. But when we need you to be consistent on a play in and play up basis, we need you to know the playbook like the back of your hand. We need you to be there when you're supposed to be there. He ain't there. So there's and that brings you back to the damn wide receiver market. They're so damn scared. They are so damn scared to give up a second or third round pick for a proven NFL player that they like their guys so much. But we got a third round pick who can't get on the field, and we can continuously bust in the second round. People say, "Oh, you got Tank." They traded that for Tank. They traded that for him, and he was supposed to be a first round player. He went to the second round because off the field issues, it ended up bringing out True, and he got suspended twice in his first 2 seasons. And he had injury history, which we've seen play out. They got Sean Lee. Sean Lee was drafted in an air cast. The dude didn't play his first damn near year and a half. There's a reason for that. Blue Star Specials. You know, take that second and that third round pick and go get somebody. Go get somebody. But the problem is where they want to spend that money, where the capital they want to give up is on day three. And they kind of like what they want right now is they want a beachfront property with 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and a yacht dock, and they only want to pay about 11 grand. that's
That's a perfect
that's the
analogy.
budget.
That is a perfect, bro. That's a perfect analogy for what you just said. That's a perfect analogy. They want the world, but they don't want to pay for it.
No,
You feel me?
they
They
want to.
want all that stuff, but they don't want to
So
pay for it.
what I'm saying by that is they want a fast receiver with timely routes and good hands, and they don't want to pay more than a day three pick. Well, shit in one hand and wish in the other. You ain't getting, you're not getting, a D-Bell Samuel guy for a damn third round pick. It ain't
Right,
happening, no matter how hard he is.
right.
So, that was a stupid decision anyway. We ain't talked about that. All you idiots wanted to trade for Debo, and then to go sit down. Y'all need to go sit down. That dude
Yeah,
can't
that's.
stay healthy, and he would not be the same player here because the way
Oh, we
Shanahan
already
uses
know
him,
that, but
yeah,
but
like
but
y'all
see,
just sit down.
But see, that's another reason why you can sit there and say maybe why we don't go after those big name free agents as well, because they probably wouldn't do well in Dallas. Would you not say that?
Oh,
Especially if they're under
Patrick
they
Mahomes would not be Patrick Mahomes in
he would
Dallas. I
not
don't give
be
it.
they would he would
The dude
not. A
probably
lot
wouldn't
of
even start. The first time Jason Garrett saw him throw an interception to the opposite side of the field in practice, he'd be benched and sent to the gulag. We'd never see him again.
Yeah, yeah. So let
But
me
he,
ask you this. Let me ask you this. So Dallas did make a trade, mid-season. I
mhm.
thought I was surprised, because I mean it was for nothing. So I wasn't surprised about that. It wasn't for nothing. But this is a player I wanted 2 years ago. Mike was Jonathan Hankins for the Las Vegas Raiders, just for a plug guy, not
Tell me
looking
when he
for a
was
sack
good.
guy. Yeah, when he was good, when we should have had him. Yeah, exactly. We wait till 2 years when he's super cheaper and he's not as good, then we'll get him. I
The
want him
only
2 years
they
ago
got
when he was
lucky.
good.
They got lucky on Robert Quinn that steroid cycle hit.
Right. You feel me? We hit him right on time. But see, when he was talking about leaving Miami, I said, let's get him now because let's not get him later because he's going downtrend. So we got him at the right time, and I had been pushing for that. So, yes, I had said Jonathan Hankins in 2020. Now we got him in 2022. Do you think he makes any kind of difference on this defense as far as the middle? Now, does he work his way into the starting lineup, or does Bohanna keep it? How do you think that dynamic works with
I mean,
him?
he's going to play. He's going to play anywhere between 3 and 12 snaps a game. Let's be realistic. That's the dude's 315 pounds. He's
Oh,
old as hell.
he don't look 315. He looked like a better 330, 340.
Probably 350. There was a burp in
Okay.
there. That he
Yeah,
might be
okay, yeah.
425.
Yeah,
I seen
I
a
was about to
picture of him the
say
other.
he ain't no 315, dog. He
I
340.
still wait. I still waking up a little bit. Let me get that tequila back in me. But no, OBJ ain't having it either. That dude wants Gallup money, and he had a certain. He's not ready. The dude's a notoriously bad rehabber. Nobody's talking about that. He'd rather go sit courtside with the Lakers than work on his knee. The dude's a notoriously bad rehabber. Gallup rehabbed like a maniac, and he still ain't ready. And y'all want OBJ? Ain't happening. It ain't happening.
See, that's why, and I appreciate you, Mike, for checking out those comments because I was about to come. So I
Yeah.
appreciate you checking out those comments and questions as they come, and we really appreciate you guys. Now there's a quick question from MJ, and I say both on this, and his question is right quick. Sorry, I didn't put other questions up there because they're going on the fly. But he says, so my question now is that could get good QB, or did he have a lot of talent around him making him look good? I'm going to say both. I mean, you have talent. Talent's going to help you look good, but Dak is a good QB. We can't sit there and say Dak is not a good QB. So
The dude had the
it goes hand in hand. It goes hand in hand,
the
in my
dude
opinion.
had the ghost of Des Bryant his rookie year and a washed up Jason Witten and Cole Beasley and converted like 55% of his third and longs because they kept forcing the ball with Zeke. The dude's been good. The problem is when he doesn't get in a rhythm and you keep the musical chairs with the offensive line last year when nothing when he can't find a groove. You can't find a lane like it's like say you're on a 5 lane highway. No matter what lane you get in, somebody's brake checking you or they cut you off or whatever, and you just can't relax and find your sense of peace in all the storm. There's too many moving parts, and they fucked around with the offensive line last year, and it cost them the season. They forced Collins back in the line because it's money. Shouldn't have been there.
Mm-hmm.
Shouldn't have been there. I mean, we talked about that. I was right on that.
Yeah.
Well, whatever. Um, it, it's just the issue that people feel is Dak a good quarterback. It's if we're 7 years into his career,
Right. And so
if
asking
you
that question, then why? Yeah, I threw the question out there, but after 7 years, like you said, we've already.
if you're still asking that question, your mind's made up.
Yeah, you don't like him. You
Period.
don't like
It's
them, right?
okay. It's
Yeah,
okay.
it's okay. Yeah, I feel you. Like if you don't like them, that's fine. I'm not. I'm beyond that point of trying to
I was
force
not a
back
Tony
on. And
Romo fan, and people
yeah,
hated me for it. But I didn't like Tony Romo because he was the only reason you'd be in the game and the only reason you'd lose the game. He was the
right.
most tragic quarterback in NFL history,
Hmm.
and he wasn't a good leader. But that's
No,
a
he
whole
wasn't a
different.
good leader.
That's why he got his team took in 2016.
Right, right. But that's a conversation for another day.
Yeah,
We'll talk about that one. So, what do you think about? Well, so what? How do you think this game goes today? Let's talk about. You said Michael Parsons is ailing, D. Law is ailing. We definitely need this bye. So how do you think this kind of game cause it plays out? What do you think we
I
have to
think it's
do
gonna be a
on?
dirty game.
You think
I just
so?
think it's gonna. I
Is it going to be a dirty game like Detroit? You
how
think
can
so?
we how can we look at this team the last 10 weeks, of play, the last 10 games, and not think that coming in here versus an unfamiliar opponent is going to be anything, smooth sailing. I, I show me, show me, show me you can go out here and you can take this team to the woodshed like you should do.
You
Because
should do.
I
Right.
tell you right now, the contenders in the AFC, the KC would come in here and hang 55 on these dudes. Buffalo come in here and hang 50 on them.
I agree. And it ain't slapping. And see, I understand where you're coming from. I totally understand. I'm gonna bounce off of that because it's not the situation that Dallas defense isn't good. It's not that situation. It's just that offense is wonky. And as long as
Mm-hmm.
that offense is wonky, it's putting the pressure on the defense, just like it did in the Detroit game, right?
Yep.
The offense didn't come alive until what would the end. It's only because the defense made
So
those critical plays.
a spin off Two's point there. Bears can run the ball.
Hmm.
That's my worry. That's
Yeah,
my worry. We
they're
saw
the
it.
number
We
one
saw
rushing
it.
offense in the league.
Let's go back to the Cleveland game where Dak put up 450 and 5 touchdowns and still lost the game. Now imagine you don't have that Dak. That's potentially what this game could turn into. You got that running game without the offense to even remotely keep you in it.
Hmm.
That's what I'm honestly worried about. That I'm the biggest Dak fan in the world. I'm worried about this offense right now.
Yeah,
I really am. And
offense is a problem right now.
show me you can be what we've seen you be. We've seen you do it. We've seen you do it 4 times as many times as you've not done it.
Hmm.
The track record of high level play is there for literally years.
Hmm.
Get it back on track, and let's get this fucking show on the road.
Yeah,
That's that's where I'm at with it, and I'm worried. Honestly, I'm worried about the game. It's an unfamiliar opponent. Bears can run the ball well. They got a mobile quarterback, and our offense has been sputtering. Have we read this book before?
we read it before. We read this book before, but here's the thing: it was kind of flippy last year because I mean we knew we could score last year, and then we was worried about the defense here and there. But now your defense is better, but
Yeah,
even though your defense is better, you can't keep them on the field. You can't keep them just like in the Philly game. You stayed in the game because of the defense, but you kept giving them possessions on the other side of the field. And in that Detroit Lions game, yes, you look at the score 24-6 and you feel good as far as you looking at for the score. But if you watch the game, you didn't feel good. Like I said, I turned that damn game
se-
off at halftime.
second.
I said, I'm not dealing with it.
Well, you missed that. The second half was much better, and
Second half
you
was
know
much better, but why was it better? Was it because of our defense or was it because of the offense?
that's back to what I was talking about. It was the first time that Dax played with that iteration of the team. He's had literally
Hmm.
zero snaps before when that went live. He had zero snaps with that roster.
Hmm.
I mean, that's not an excuse. That's just factual information. You've
Right.
never played with these dudes, not the way they're set up currently.
Hmm.
And he wasn't with them in training camp. That was Cooper Rush. So it,
Well, let me ask
it,
you this. Let me ask you this. I had some people in the comments saying we understand now. I'm glad this came up. Let's talk about the defensive line, right?
mhm,
I've been screaming about the run defense for the last 2 years. Okay. I've been saying run defense is bad. It's overrated. Just like in 2014 when teams were only averaging like 85 yards rushing a game against us. Remember that? But it wasn't because our run defense was good. It's because we were jumping on people and they had to get out of the run and start throwing the ball, right? And
mhm.
then when Rob Marinelli was like 2018 or something like that, it was it was a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? But it was deceiving because our 2016 offense was just putting it down people's throats. And then teams were having to get up out the run early and throwing the ball. I still feel like this run defense is still scary. The numbers are going down, but we've seen, just like in the game against the Detroit Lions, Williams had 15 carries for like 80 something yards, and they weren't out when the game was over yards. He was getting yards when he needed to get the yards. You feel me? So what I'm asking you, Mike, our linebacker play. I've been screaming for Anthony Barr. I said he's just been very average. LVE,
He's been mid. Hey, ease up on my dude. LVE's had his best year since his rookie year. I'm not.
but it,
I'm not.
oh,
I'm not saying the dude's going to the damn pro.
yeah, yeah, I know that.
Going
I
all
know that.
pro, but the
I
dude
know.
has
I
played
get that.
extremely. He's played
I ain't
extremely
saying
solid.
he's played solid, but I'm not going to say extremely solid, Mike, because I'm telling you that one of the reasons why these running backs are getting these lanes is because he is still hesitating. He is still not trusting himself to meet that hole and fill that hole, come downhill. He has the ability to do it, but too many times he still second guesses himself in that hole.
Oh,
And that split seconds that he hesitates and second guesses himself, that's when that running back attacks and presses that hole and gets those yards he shouldn't. Now, I'm not saying LVE has played bad, but I'm not saying he's played extremely solid because he could play better and make a more impactful. Now, what about Damone Clark? I know he's a rookie. I know he's a rookie. People are talking about him. You talk us about Damone Clark right now.
uh, an unknown quantity.
But do you feel good about him?
He's fast.
You
I
think
mean,
he's physical? You think he would give them a
we'll
physical
see.
edge?
We'll
Because they're
see.
throwing these other guys out here, right? They're
The
trumpeting
dude.
him like he's the next freaking Mike Singletary.
Oh, I mean, that's the that's the local water carriers doing that, for lack of a better word. I don't want to
Right.
hurt anybody's feelings because they,
I got you.
there's a lot of fragile egos in this local DFW media. But
It sure is. Sure is. I
that
heard him last week, but we'll leave it alone.
yeah, that's the same people that was saying that Tolbert was going to be a better rookie Gallup. So can we just
Yeah.
leave that where it is right there?
Yep.
Let
Yeah,
you
we know what that is. Yeah, we know what that
so
is.
on
Y'all
the
hear us. Y'all hear us.
on the run defense thing. The run defense thing is a lot like your run offense. It's like, oh, when Zeke had 25 carries, they automatically won the game. Well, the Zeke has 25 carries because they're winning in the second half. Your run defense is bad when your offense is balling out. If your run defense is bad when your offense isn't balling out, that's when you got issues.
Mm-hmm.
And what worried me, it wasn't Detroit. That damn fourth quarter versus Philadelphia, when they just picked up third down after third down.
On runs.
I
It
think
was
they got
13
six.
runs.
Was it six third downs on that one drive? I think
Yeah.
five or
They
six
had
third.
look, it was a 13 play drive, Mike, and they ran 11 times.
Jesus Christ! And just mushed us right. That's what worries me. That's right. That's what worries me right there. It's
Mm-hmm.
not. It's not. It's not the big plays. It's, hey, you know what? Go ahead and rip you a 40-yard run. It's like the Saquon Barkley effect. Rip you a 40-yard run. Rip you a 60-yard run. You end up with 120 yards and no touchdowns on the day, and you lose by 14 points. By all means, go ahead. But when you absolutely cannot stop those 5 and 6 yard at a time pops, that worries me. It's not the like people don't want to start Pollard. Oh, he gets that one run, but he stops. Whatever. It's not that 40, 50-yard run I'm worried about. It's
It's
that damn
those It's those dirt.
Philadelphia drive.
It's them dirty yards, and that's
Hmm.
what I've been worried about as well, Mike. And I've said this. That's one of the reasons why I've been worried about the run defense. If you look at the stats and you go through the stats and you haven't watched the game, you'd be like, "Oh, it hasn't been that bad." But yeah, it has been. They have
What?
been, and the problem is, Mike, and this is what I'm saying with it is I'm worried what you say. I'm worried when teams stay with it, like the
Hmm.
Eagles did in that game. See, we're happy if the teams run here and there and throw the ball. Okay, we're happy with that. But if a team says no, we are going to stick with this run all
And
damn
we're
game,
we're we're
and
gonna
we don't give a
hold your
hell.
pop till you stop us.
You're going to keep doing it until we stop us, just like that, Mike. And that's when I get the worry because I feel like teams can beat us that way. If a team
Because
can
we've
beat us
seen it. We've seen
defensively,
it for years.
we've seen it for years. If a team sticks with the run, not sporadically go with the run here and there, but they're saying first down, boom, second down, boom, third down it. We're going to stay with it until you say you're going to stop us. that's where we get beat. And that's where the worry is, like I said, with me too, down the line. Not saying I don't love this defense, but that run defense, if a team stays with that run against us, that's where I need to see these Cowboys really stop it, because I haven't seen that.
Yeah, they're just eh, they're slowly, with the addition, they've added more DT and safety help to this team in the last 3 years than they have in the last 2 decades. You know that, as far as actual talent, not just a guy. They ran a damn special teamer out there for years
Did
with Jeff
you see that,
Heath.
Mike?
What's up?
I didn't mean to cut you off. Did you see that? Look at all
What?
them people who are inactive. Cox, Malik Hooker, Sam Williams, Tristan Hill, Noah Brown.
Donald Brown's foot's broke.
Oh wow, that's definitely not
Oh,
something. Oh boy. Well, you already said it, so we'll keep going.
yeah.
Get him here, hot takes. Get him here, hot takes. Hot takes. Get him here. Shit.
So they got the roof open today. Um,
Well, there it is. But do you see all the defense? Why is Sam Williams? Oh, that's right. Sam Williams had a little injury, didn't he? But
that's the reason he went. That's the reason he went in the second round.
Malik Hooker.
So, I mean, we that dude been hurt for 15
Yeah,
years.
I know. But okay, let's talk about this Jabril Cox thing. What the hell's going on with this? What is going on with it, bro? Is he
I
too far behind? Does he not know the defense? Is he still not healthy with his knee? Because that's what I said in the beginning of the preseason. I mean, in training camp, I said his knee wasn't still right. What is going on with Jabril Cox? Please tell me just something, Mike. Something, please, for all of
it's a
us.
it's a fugazi. It's There's some of this or some of that. It's kind of like the Tolbert deal with an injury on top.
He's just not getting it.
Yeah, and I mean, is the guy going to
And he's
help you
too
in run?
far behind now.
Is the
He's
guy
too
going to
far.
help you? Is the guy going to help you in run defense? I don't think so.
No, because he
No,
was never a run defender in
no,
college. That was
and
his.
you're not,
That's why he dropped. That's why he dropped to
and
the
your
fourth round, because his
and
run
your
defense.
passing defense is like top 2 in the league.
So you don't want to throw
So
him out there because you're scared, right?
yeah, I wish that's all I got on that one, man. That's I mean, I know he played. Yeah, he played last year. You know,
But he didn't
you know.
play
So
last
did
year. He
Jalen
didn't play
Smith.
last year. He played that one damn game in the Giants, and everybody remembers that hit. I'm not being disrespectful as I say this, but everybody just remembers that hit against the Giants. He was not
No,
getting no kind of
it's
tick. He wasn't getting no tick last year, Mike, and you and I both know it. He was not getting any kind of tick last year. And then this year, they said he was going to be ready. He's ready to go all in, but he hasn't smelt it. So when I see a player who can't get on the field like that, that means you ain't learning this defense. You don't understand it. That's why they're not putting you on the field. I mean, what the hell is KJ, right? I mean, Kelvin Joseph. I mean, he's the greatest gunner, second round gunner quarterback ever in the
he's
league.
a gunner, all right. Bang bang.
Yeah, but he's not Nashawn Wright, third round pick. He's not smelling the field. So you got your second pick, your third round pick, and your fourth round pick last year on defense. And Ridgeway, who's gone from this year, they're gone. Now I'm not dogging Cowboys because the defense is good, but I'm just saying that's kind of weird to me. Your second, your third, and your fourth don't smell it.
But you don't want to give those picks up for proven NFL players.
No, because we gotta let those. We're happy with our guys, and we gotta let those guys develop. And that's the problem with the young players, because if they don't, that's the
It's their
gamble. Did
life.
we talk about this, Mike?
The
We talk about
Cowboys.
this?
It's all hell. It's all part of the propaganda PR machine. There's always a light at the end of the tunnel. Hey, we got this guy around the corner. We got this guy around the corner. Catboy gets under. Oh, we really like the way Damone Clark's getting ready to play. He's a smart player. We got big expectations for him. Shut the hell up. No, you don't. No, you don't.
They gamble on cheap players, but they will never gamble on an established player because they don't want to pay the money. And that's what I've been saying for this whole damn year, is that Stephen Jones is so weird to me, is how you say you don't like to gamble, but you do. You don't want to gamble on players that are proven because you got to spend money, but you'll gamble the hell out of them young players because they don't cost no money.
KMT's on something over here in the comments. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
There it is. I mean, we've been talking about that for the last year with Tristan Hill possibly getting moved, though, haven't we, Mike? We just ain't
Yep.
been live. But you're right, KMT. That's
But
what, 2 straight games? Was he
and
inactive?
he played last week.
He played
I thought
last
he
week.
played
Okay.
last.
Oh, it was your
Um,
boy that was inactive.
yeah,
Gallimore.
yeah, and he's. I don't know what's going on there.
Me neither. I'm like,
He pissed somebody off.
he pissed somebody off. He went from because remember in the preseason, he was the
Yep.
one that was on the
Oh,
field and nobody else was. Why was
he's
I was
that's he. I don't know what happened. He pissed somebody off.
he did something, bro. Because I was like, did you see that? Because first of all, that was the thing that threw me off in the preseason. All the starters sat, but Gallimore kept playing. I said, why is Gallimore? Makes no sense. And then I'm watching during the season. I'm like, bro, we need that big body in the middle, and he is not getting the reps
Healthy
in the
scratch.
middle.
Did a
Healthy
healthy.
scratch, man. Wow. And
Uh,
Hill is not that. He puts Hill at the zero. Hill's getting mashed in there.
I
Come
think
on, man.
Hill, man, you could sell Tristan Hill's trade value will never be higher than it is right now.
Mhm.
Period. That's he's had a. I don't care what you feel about him. The dude's had a good year. He's
He's had a solid year.
had a couple splash plays in there where they got his name called out. And he
And
got a
he's young.
highlight.
He's only
Yeah,
23, 24,
and that's a second round pick right there.
and
And
you're not keeping him.
you're not keeping him. It's that's something you can move, and then maybe that's something they can move, and then they could package a late. If they want to get in the late day two, you could actually get a player. If they want to keep talking this day three nonsense on trade compensation, it's not going to happen.
Mhm.
It's not going to happen, and they need something. This offense can't separate. It's full of 6 foot tall, 200 pound, 4 foot five guy or 4 5 guys, 4 foot five, 4 5 guys. That's what it is. It's a bunch of slow, lumbering, technical dudes, and you need somebody that could move. And people, oh well, Turpin. There's a reason Turpin wasn't in the league.
He's
He's
he.
not good.
I love
He's not
Turpin's speed.
good.
I listen. I love his speed, but bro, he's too little for you to him make him kind of impact,
It,
and they
it,
don't know how to use him right anyway.
if the guy could catch passes and stuff and be an NFL receiver, he would have been on a team. Period. I mean, guys are looking for receivers. We and that's something I got to look into. This off season. I talk about constantly. Everybody does how deep the draft is with wide receiver. How deep you can do this. I still believe you should draft one in the first 2 days every single year.
We
At
talked
least one.
about that. We
Every
talked about that
every
with Gallup. If you've been
yeah.
following us, we what was he saying about Gallup? We said get rid of
Don't
Gallup.
pay Gallup.
We
Don't
said
pay.
don't pay
Keep
Gallup. Go
Cooper.
up, go
I'm not
keep
even a Cooper
Cooper.
fan.
Right. We
I'm
said
not even a
keep
Cooper
Cooper.
fan.
Don't keep Gallup because he's a secondary receiver. You got a number one guy. You could have kept a CD Lamb with a
Mhm.
Amari Cooper. You could have let Michael Gallup walk, and you could have drafted a couple receivers. You could have
What are we
did
gonna
that.
do?
So,
What are we gonna do with CD Lamb?
bro, he's not that guy. I mean,
That's
he's
hurting my
good,
heart because I was on that dude's train like a year before he was even draft eligible. This is not the player that was in college. Not.
but can let me hold something back on this. Let me ask you this though, Mike. What you just say? You just said Patrick Mahomes comes to Dallas. He ain't the same Patrick Mahomes. CD Lamb comes to Dallas. We saw that CD Lamb at OU. He's not the CD Lamb. Would I be begged the difference to say that if CD Lamb was somewhere else, he'd turn up?
I mean, it's. I can't
I
say you're
think it would.
wrong.
I think
I
it would
can't.
happen. I think
I
he would
can't say
turn
you're
up if he
wrong.
went somewhere
He's
else.
also to that same coin. He's also the only first round wide receiver in that draft that's played like 85% of his snaps without his supposed quarterback one.
Right.
So there's that too.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but that actually only strengthens my thought process on what the hell is he doing because good receivers produce regardless of talent. Andre Johnson catching passes from Tom Savage. DeAndre Hopkins catching passes from Tom Savage. You know, at good receivers produce.
Do you see that question?
Uh, yeah, but not in the way that people would like. It doesn't. It doesn't offer. It doesn't alter roster decisions and stuff like that. There's guys he likes. He loves Tolbert. He loves Tolbert. I can put him on the field sometime. So, you know, that is what it is. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, You can love a guy, but you can also say he ain't ready.
Right. I love him, but he gotta get better, right?
I got good friends I don't want to work with. Damn good person. Yeah.
You ain't lying. We best friends, but I would never work with you.
Don't hire that.
Mhm.
Oh, he applied here. Oh, don't hire that motherfucker.
Yeah.
He said he's your boy. Nah, I
Yeah,
know.
he
That's why
my
I'm telling
boy,
you, he's my
but
boy.
he ain't no worker. Don't do it. That's my homie. But if you hire him, company going down.
you
Well,
know,
hey, you know what it is, big dog. But hey, man, we're getting ready to close this thing up. You know what I mean? Game time is going to be a little bit an hour or so. So, like I said, this is a game should be a stomp beat down, but we know how Dallas usually notorious plays in these type of games with these type of teams. I feel like Eberflus still, even though it's been a few years, he doesn't have the same team he had in Indianapolis. He still knows the Cowboys. He knows our tendencies. He knows patterns and trends. And I feel like that's what's going to help them keep in the game because he knows the Cowboys' patterns and trends. Not about the talent, it's about them trends and what we continuously do. Like we're kind of like obvious in what we do and things, and so it makes teams to easily to scheme us, Mike. Because we make it easy for them, in my opinion, we make it easy for them to
yeah,
scheme us, and that's why teams stay
dude,
with us because we make it easy.
you can talk to people around the league. Like I don't. It's not hard. I mean, it's, this stuff isn't arcane knowledge. I mean, there's a lot of NFL players in the league. Obviously, there's a lot of ex NFL players. There's a lot of scouts. There's a lot of trainers. There's literally hundreds of thousands of people involved in the NFL. And if you ask four of them, they'll all tell you the same thing. Game planner for Dallas is the same it's been for 20, 30 years.
Yeah, it hasn't changed. It's easy. You saw what the
It,
Buccaneers said they did. They said it the first week. It hasn't changed from then, hasn't it?
yeah,
No.
and it works. It works when it works. And when it doesn't work, we're here doing this. To
Mm-hmm.
that point, though, you said we're getting ready to close out. My thoughts on this game: it's going to be a close first half with a bunch of angry tweets, and then they'll
Mm-hmm.
open the game. They'll open the game up. They'll we'll
It
be
is.
firing everybody.
It is. It
We'll be
is.
firing
You.
everybody. You
Yep.
know,
Yep. Yep. It's always that first half. Like, see, that's
that's
what I told you.
yeah.
And
We're
then,
gonna be like the roof's open because Jerry got a sniper trained on Kellen
oh
Moore right
my
now.
God,
Is
that's
that
hilarious. That is hilarious. With angry tweets in the first half, going to be that's the truth, dog. Like
and
I
we go?
might,
They're gonna end up
I'm a,
covering the spread.
I'm a resist from shutting off the feed again. I'm a resist from shutting off the feed again. I'm like, you know what? I'm not doing this again, Dallas. I'm turning off the feed because y'all just being goofy again. It's like really, yeah, I feel the same way. Surprises, Dallas. It'll be surprising if they come in and just mash them. That's a
Yeah,
surprise. That's what we
I would
want.
be
But
surprised.
I'd be totally surprised if Dallas come in there off the rip and just come in there and mash them and look impressive. This is going to be a dirty game, a dirty, tough game, a game that if they do separate, it will be in the second half after maybe they got a few turnovers, maybe here and there, a big sack. But that's how it's going to be. And that's what it is. And like you said, we need this bye week to figure it
Kellen
out.
Moore ain't learning on the job. I sorry to cut you off.
Go ahead.
Kellen Moore ain't learning on the job. Go watch the Gruden QB camp from 2000 when he was getting drafted damn near a decade ago. He designed to the T on the whiteboard the modern Rams offense. He's running what he's supposed to run, literally. Keep blaming offensive coordinators. How many have been through here? How many have been through here since '95? The offense does not change. They spread the ball around. They run it on first down with a big name running back. That's that's what they do. It's what they've always done. It's what they always will do until the team changes ownership. Because the guys that won with a big name running back and a stout defense. And I mean, even go back to the dynasty. They wasn't blowing teams out. They wasn't it wasn't over by halftime all the time. It comes down to a damn field goal. Or the fourth quarter blows open. It's never been this team has never been a put the game away until they play the Bills in the Super Bowl. But it's like that's not who they are. It's not who they'll ever be. I
Teams
don't
always
know.
just hang. Teams
Like,
always hang around.
do I think Kellen Moore's
Let
some offensive genius? Absolutely not. But
right.
do I know he's hampered by the powers that be? Yes, absolutely, 100%, absolutely. The Jones boys are in the game plan meetings. That's your boss and your boss's boss and your boss's boss's boss. If you're Kellen Moore, you got the head coach, the COO, the CEO of the team in the game plan meetings. saying, "Oh, we still got that 21 back there. Y'all know that. Don't forget that 21." It's
Hey, but let me tell it when. Hey, let me tell it, Mike. When I said that, people are like, they ain't influencing no plays and nothing like that. I said,
it's
okay. I said, okay. I said this last year, Mike. I said this last year. That's all. I said this last year, Mike. We talked about it before. We haven't had our show in a while, but we were always talking about that. I had
mhm.
said it like, look, you don't think these dudes, when Stephen Jones, when they said, oh, we don't influence the play calling, we don't do it. Yes, you freaking do. What else
It's
are you going to say in the media? Yes, you do. I told you Anthony Wright in 90 in those early 90s. He told me, Jerry Jones, he said, I have never seen this in football ever. Jerry Jones, the owner, was in quarterback meetings. Now, if he was in quarterback meetings back then, why would not he be in there now?
why wouldn't he be even more stubborn? I've been in this
Right.
business. I've been in this business
You're
40
not going to
years.
tell me nothing.
Yeah,
I'm 80 years old. You're not telling me nothing. I'm setting
drunker
my
than hell
way.
off Johnny
Yeah.
Walker.
He's going to say, I can come in these meetings and guess what? If Jerry Jones says you're going to run this because I tell you to run it, who's going to say no?
And it's not like people take it too literally. There's a lot of reading between the lines there. It's a job, all right? It's a job. Everybody in here probably has a job. I don't right now, but that's another conversation. But everybody has a boss, and everybody has insubordination, and everybody has an HR. They all this exists. It's still at the end of the day, it's still a job,
Mm-hmm.
and you're gonna do what your
What your
boss wants
boss
you to
tells you
do.
to.
And he may not tell you in black and white, but you know his philosophy, and you know what he wants to see, and you know how he wants to see it run. In this case, you know how he wants to see it ran literally. So
And who
that's
did and he said,
it.
who does the team go through? It goes through
Yeah,
Zeke. He said that.
yeah.
That's what he said.
It's not like Jerry Jones has a damn headset up in the in the suite. It's already been handled through the week. It starts Monday morning. It starts, and then he's there on game plan, and it starts like it's a constant overarching theme with this team is the Jones boys are run truthers. Period. That's why they went and paid Z. They didn't have to, and they couldn't resist. They got 1,500 all-purpose yards from the ghost of Darren McFadden with backup quarter play in 2015. Where'd it get them? They got them in the top five. And what they do? They drafted a damn running back. What more evidence do you need? I that this is what they want. This is how it's always going to be. There may be a game here, a game there where they throw it, you know, 60 times, like Atlanta, you know. But for the most part, it's going to be early down runs, big damn running back. Hopefully, we can get a third down conversion. They want every drive to end in a field goal. You know, field goal. Field goal is points to them. Now we go out there and kick you some field goals versus the Chiefs and see how that lasts.
Or an elite team, you're gonna get smacked.
I mean, that's the only that's the only good saving grace this year. Is there's no. I mean,
There's
the
no
only
elite
two
teams. The
the two
NFC is
good the two
mediocre.
good teams are in the AFC, and they're going to crash each other out in the AFC Championship.
Well, the NFC is mediocre too.
Yeah, that
That's what really helps.
the NFC I think is better, is deeper. Should I
Deeper.
say deeper? But
They
as
don't have
far
any
as
top heavy teams, but
no,
it's deeper. But
no,
it's
they don't
deeper.
have
It's
NFC
everybody
ain't
kind of like on the same playing level, but it's a bunch of them.
yeah NFC ain't got shit that can run with the Bills and Chiefs right now.
No, especially on
Period.
that offense. No, because they're just going to score on you. You got to be able to match their scoring.
I mean, we saw it. We saw it with San Francisco in the Super Bowl. You know, they Chiefs was down what 18 with 10 minutes to go. How'd that work out?
Hmm.
And that was the best defense. That was San Francisco has actually been probably the best team in the NFL for the better part of the last 5 years,
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
they've been held back by quarterback play
Yeah.
and kind of a coach that thinks he's a lot smarter than he is. But that's
Right.
another conversation.
Yeah.
I like it. So yeah, they ended up, man. Angry tweets in the first half. Cowboys slowly put the game away. It's going to be, you know what it is? It's going to be like a lot like Detroit. If you go look at the win probability, Detroit was never in that game. There's a couple blips from like two plays, where Detroit gets in the positive. But for the other part, Dallas controlled that game all the way through. This is going to be one of those where we think we don't have a chance. It's terrible, fire everybody. They end up covering the spread in the end.
Right. Yeah, well, we're gonna see. Like I said, hopefully they don't be tripping, so I turn off my feed. I'm gonna try to fight through and resist it because I know they're gonna do goofy things, but that's okay. We'll see. But man, really appreciate you jumping back on here, looking all clean cut. Got your I love that fresh hat that you have. That's a nice
Bulls
ass
are
hat.
Bulls
Nice
are
ass.
was where I
I
got
like.
it. So
I like
thank
that.
you.
Great hat. Looking clean, looking fresh. Go ahead and give them a plug. Let them ever know what you got going on. And but first, before you do that, we're just letting you know we'll be right back on schedule with Burgers and Blitzes again. We'll figure out the day each week that we're gonna do it. So we'll be in behind the scenes figuring that out. But really glad that you came back. Really enjoyed our time. I know a lot of people missed this. Everybody was clamoring, so you should really feel good about that, Mike. Keep your head up at all times, dog. Because, buddy, when you mentioned about Burger and Blitzes, the airwaves and Twitter went crazy, bro.
I appreciate you.
Every
I
you
really
you
do
know how many
appreciate y'all.
people
Yeah.
came and hit me up, Mike, and was like, "Bro, what's up with Burgers and Blitzes? What's going on?" I said, "Bro, I don't know. Like, y'all asking me this question, I don't have the answers. My guy Mike is just doing his thing, so I'm just
There's
going.
a
I'm
lot. There
on.
was a lot going
Yeah,
on. There
it's
was a
just a
job
lot going
change
on.
and I moved. Life.
Yeah,
Y'all know life be happening. But
life
this is
happens.
my Twitter handles at the bottom. My PayPal links there. That's for my house and barbecue fun. I'll be doing this. I'll be doing this a lot more. I'm trying to get this on a
He
more
said, "What's the
consistent
hat name
basis.
again?"
Bullzerk. Bullzerk. Bullzerk.
There it
So
is.
that's the business. And they're based if y'all are local, the store is in Grandscape over there in the Colony next to the Nebraska Furniture Mart and all that.
Yeah,
But
that hat is fresh, bro.
they
That's
make
a
they
hard ass
make some
hat.
nice that Dallas one I used to wear all the time came from the same place. So
Yeah,
that's yeah,
nice.
I like their stuff. Um
Yeah, I'm doing
yeah,
my feed. I'm doing my feed, usual feed for the game. But like I said, if they acting weird, I won't hesitate to turn it off. I don't want to be like that, but I'm not gonna just deal with the weird stuff. You know what I'm saying? They see who's messing with you. That's a good
oh,
one, Sills. That's okay. Hey, this is my dog, though. I appreciate you, man. Like I said, I really appreciate you bringing it back. I'm so glad. People have been asking. I was like, hey, my man's on a holding period, so I'm gonna just wait for him. So I'm just glad we were able to link up. This was an awesome show, great insight, great back and forth as we usually do. As we said before, just keep on tuning in. Me and Mike are going to iron out the days that we're going to do this. So just make sure you just keep supporting Mike, keep on giving them positive things on his feed, his Twitter, all that good stuff. Hey, they giving you shouts out on 105 fan too, bro. So you a beast out there in these streets.
is that
Yeah,
a shout
yeah,
out or am I
yeah,
or
yeah. It's a
there's one
shout
guy
out.
over there that really don't like me.
Hey, that's all right though, because you must be doing something right. All I gotta say is this: you must be doing something right. Somebody takes the time out to name your name on air, and you ain't said nothing. You just chilling and doing your thing. So that lets me know you making an impact. So keep doing your work. Keep saying what you're saying because people are listening and people are feeling it, whether it's good or bad. We ain't here to have everybody.
I ain't gonna
Everybody ain't
lie
gonna
to
like
you.
us, Mike.
I don't
Everybody ain't
make
gonna
up
like us.
shit. My
Everybody
track
don't
record,
like us, big dog. Everybody don't like us, but you know what? You can't be living your life for if somebody likes you or not. You feel me?
man.
So it's all good.
If I lost sleep over the amount of times that people don't like me, I'd be up all the time. So
You feel me? I'll be a day walker if that was with me. I'll be a straight day walker. So
yeah.
it is what it is. But man, make sure you keep on checking out Big Dog Mike. Make sure you continue to support Burgers and Blitzes, Big Game James. I'll be going live in about an hour for our game, and then we'll kind of see what happens. But for myself, Mike White from Burgers and Blitzes, we'll be talking to you soon.